In this session, I'm going to demonstrate to you the problem 3 in part B of Java lab. Let's look at the problem first. So the problem reads as follows. We are supposed to calculate the marks of the student using multiple inheritance implemented through an interface. In this particular exercise, we are supposed to create the class called as student with the members like roll number, name and class, and the methods to set and put the data. Then we are supposed to create another class called test that extends the student with the data members marks 1, marks 2, marks 3 and a method to set and put the data. After this, we are supposed to create an interface called sports with the members sportsWt with the value 5 and a method putWt. Finally, we are supposed to create a class called as a result that extends the test class and implements the interface sports. Then we are supposed to write a Java program that will read all these values like the roll number, name and class and all the marks of the student, and then display the details in a neat format. So let me go ahead and let me start with the NetBeans. I have the NetBeans ready with me, and I'm going to click on this file and new project, and the project will appear. In the new project dialog box, I'm going to select the Java application as my project, and then I'm going to click on next. We are supposed to give a name to our project. I'm going to give the name as a student result, and I'm going to click on finish. This will create a new project. If you look at this project window over here, in this project window you will have a project called as student result, and if you click on this plus sign, it's going to expand, and if you click on this plus sign under the source package, it's going to expand, and you will find a package called as student result. And if you click on the plus sign, there will be a default Java class that is added by the NetBeans, and with the name called as a student result. And this particular class will contain static void main, and you notice if you keep your mouse pointer here, it's going to say it contains the main method. With that done, suppose there is some students may find that this particular project tab is not visible. Now this may happen if you accidentally close the tab rather than minimizing it. Let me zoom in for you. Rather than minimizing, if you just click on this X mark by mistake, if you do that, it will just vanish and it will not appear over here. Suppose if this or something else is not visible in NetBeans, what are you going to do? If something is not visible to you, go to this window, and you can see over here. So go to this window menu over here, and in this window menu you have all the option. If the project is not visible, the keyboard shortcut is Ctrl+1, or click on this if the files are not visible. If something is not visible, output is not visible or anything is not visible, go to this window and you will find the required thing. So I will click on the projects, and you notice that the projects will appear. Okay, suppose if it's not visible, just go here and then do it. Now let's go ahead with the program that we are supposed to create. And what is the first thing that we are supposed to create is we are supposed to create a class called as student. I'm going to go to the NetBeans over here, and in the NetBeans under my project, it's very important in the project that you are creating, you have to do it, don't create it in other projects. So my project name was student result. Under the source package, you have a package called as student result. So you see this icon over here. In this you are supposed to do it. So right click on it and then click on new, and you have Java class. Okay, you can do that thing. So let me zoom out for you. And what is that you did? You went here under the package student result, or any you can see that icon there. So this icon, under this icon you right click and then say new Java class. Now in this case the Java class is visible. I'm going to just open this Java class. You will get this dialog box. Now suppose for some good reason, when you right click, maybe during the examination or during some other time, when you right click, if Java class is not visible to you, if it is not listed over here, for some reason it is not coming there, in that case you cannot go to a window and then do that thing. It is not possible. So if when you right click, if you don't find when you say new project, if you don't find, go to the last option over here, others. So go to this option, others, and when you click on this others, you will find lot of options over here, because it's going to show what are all the things that you can do with the Java. So you are not developing a JSF page like PHP. You can develop JSF page, or you are not creating any server faces or anything of this type. We are doing plain old Java application. So just click on Java and you will find all the Java related things, like you can create package, applet, and so on and so forth. So you can see all the related things that you can do it with the Java. So just click on Java and then select the Java class. Now when you click next, you will find the same interface that you would have got it when you right clicked on it. So whether you right click on it and then say new class, or if you go to the other and then select Java and new class, it's one and the same. You are going to come to this same dialog box. Now in this dialog box, what is that you are supposed to do? So according to the question, we are supposed to create a student class. So I'm going to create a student class. So I just created student class with the S capital. So student is the class, and I'm going to just finish it off. Then so when you do that, you are going to see NetBeans has created a class for you, class student. And then what is that you are supposed to do? Then you are supposed to create three members over here: roll number, name, and class. Control C, and let's go ahead and let's do that thing. I just copied it. You don't need to do it anyhow. You can do the copy paste, the copying work during the examination. So this is the members that you are supposed to do it. Let's assume that the roll number is int. Now some of you may say that the roll number is long because you have a very lengthy roll number. But my answer to you is, are you going to write such a long name or such a long roll number during the examination? If your answer is no, then keep it as int. Okay, so don't unnecessarily make the things complicated. The next one is name, and I'm going to remove this string here. Already string is there. Next one is the class. Put a semicolon and all is done. So you have integer roll number, a string name, and class this one. What's the next thing that they have said? Next thing that they have said is you are supposed to create two methods, set and put. So let's do that thing, set and put. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to zoom in for you. So here I'm going to create a public. I'll make it as public method. You can do any other type. Public void, because this method does not return anything. I'm going to say put details. I'll make this method name as put detail. This takes a few parameters. What are the few parameters? Int roll number. I'll take it as rn roll number for shortcut. I mean to reduce the typing, and string. Let me make it as string name. N, I'll take it as n. Okay, this I'm doing it because you know very well during the examination you may not type very fast, so I'll just keep it as simple. And C for the class. Okay, so roll number, name and class. Okay, so simple as that. I'm going to set the roll number equal to rn, this part is done, and name equal to n, I'm going to do that thing, and cls equal to c. Now what is that you have done? With this one you must understand what is that you are doing. So you had your class here, this was your class, and this method, that is putDetails method, gets some value from the outside world. So 3 values it's going to get it from the outside world, like maybe the register number 111, and the name is Ramu, and maybe the class is second BCA. Okay, you get that thing. And this value, whatever you are getting, this is from the outside world. Whatever you get from the outside world, this value, you take them and you store them in the data member. So this value, whatever you are getting, Ramu, and you store them in the data member. This value, whatever you are getting, you store them in the data member. So that's simple as that. Whatever value you are getting it from the outside, you take it and then put it inside the data members. The next thing that we are supposed to do according to the question is we are supposed to implement a put method. Now put is nothing but the output. We are supposed to output them on the screen. So we have stored all the values inside the data members. So let's put them onto the screen. Again I'm going to use a public, and I'm going to say void, and I think let me just verify. They have 2 methods here. One is set and other one is put. Okay, this one is set, this one is put. So let me make the correction. Set is to set. I'll make it as set. Okay, just a name change. So I'll make it as set. First one was set. The other one was put. So other one is put details. Sorry about that. First one is set the value. So the setting is you know very well what is the meaning of saying set the value. Set the value means you have the set details means you have the values coming out from the outside world. You take all of them and you set them here. Okay, that's simple as that. So that is set. Sorry about that. So set, and this one is put. You display it outside the world. Okay, so how do I display anything outside the world? I'm going to just say s out. Yes, let's say s out, and I will say roll number plus remember I cannot use rn here. Rn is not the data member. Roll number, this is the data member. Remember, whenever you want to do something with the class, you take the data members, not the parameters or the arguments which are passed over here, not them. So I have already set them. So I'm going to say roll number. This one is over. I'm not going to again paste the value. I'm going to use the Control C to copy it, Control V to paste it. Next one is my name, and I'm going to give the data member variable name. Now one thing you will notice with the NetBeans is when you put the variable, it will highlight it and say which one you are referring. So you notice that you are referring the name, which is the data member. Okay, if you click on this roll number, you will notice that it is going to highlight where that variable is available. So it is available in the here. Definitely it was available in the set details method. So it is easier for you to realize or recognize where that variable is being used. Let me again Control V here, because you know cut copy paste you have already studied in your first semester. Last one is my class. I'm going to use the class. Let me make it a bit formatting. This is called as all formatting. So one colon I have put extra to make it just beautiful. So CLS, that is it. You have created you have set details and put details. Set details will set the value, put details will display it to the world. That being done, let me go here and save it. Let's look at the second part, what we are supposed to do. In the second part, we are supposed to create another class called as test, and extend the test class from the student with the data members marks 1, marks 2, mark 3. These are the data members. I'm just going to just copy it so that I can use it. Now one thing you will notice that there is a one small typo here, and that typo is T is in small case. By convention, class names must be in capitals. The first letter of the class name must be in capital. This is the convention. It is not the syntax. Don't get confused. This is not the syntax of Java, but conventionally whenever somebody writes a class, they always start the class with the capital letter. So I'm going to follow that convention. So let's go ahead and let's create that class. So how do you create a class in NetBeans? Is very simple. You go to the project, and under this project, don't go to other project, go to your project. Your project is student result, and sometimes some people, you will notice that it's like this, it is many things are open. My advice is close all the things which are not relevant. Keep only your project open so that you know that you are working on your project. Okay, you can click on the plus sign to expand, click on minus sign to collapse. Okay, that being said, let's go to the student result. This is the package. You see the icon over here. This is the package. Right click on it, new, either class from here or from the others you can get the class. So from any place you can get it. New, if it is available, click on new class. That will give you a dialog box, and then you give the name to this particular class as test. According to them, T was in small case. I am just making a small change there, T in capital, to follow the convention. Okay, with that typed, let me click on finish, and it's going to create. As usual, NetBeans is going to create a new file called as test.java with the public class test. Now according to them, this class must extend the student. So this should be an extension of the students you are already created with the roll number, name, and other thing. This should extend that to student. So how do you do that thing? So you say public class test and you say extend. So you don't need to type the whole thing, type half of it and then press control space. In NetBeans you can always get the help by pressing CTRL plus space bar. So whenever you are in trouble, press the control and the space bar, you will get a lot of help. Now what I have typed here is the class test, and what is that I am supposed to do is it extends students. I have typed half of it, control space it, and NetBeans will say, are you talking about a student? Yes, I'm talking about this student. Which is this student? This is the class. Just now I created the student class. I am extending my test out of it. And what are the things which are there in this? There are three members are there, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Let me assume that all the marks are integer. I do not want to create trouble by using floating point or other things. I'm going to say they are plain integer, and we have 3 marks, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. As in the previous case, we are supposed to create the methods to set and put the data. So let me create that one here. So I'm going to say public void set. Set is to set. I'm going to say set marks. Okay, set marks. And what other things I have? I have set marks. M1 for the first mark, int M2 for the second mark, and int M3 the third mark. So all of them are integer, as you know very well. Close the flower bracket. Once that is done, I am going to now say that marks mark 1 is equal to M1. Mark 2, again you don't have to do this one, you can select this one. Control C to copy, Control V to paste. So this time it is 2. This is also 2. And again press enter, and I'm going to paste it, and this is 3. So you don't need to type too many things over here. So 3 marks are set. Now what is that you are doing? Again the same story that was there previously. 1 minute. You have the class, and somebody is going to give you 3 marks here, M1, M2, M3. For example, somebody may say 45, 67 and 99. Okay. You take all the marks from the outside world and you set them as data members. You take the marks from the outside world, you set them as the values to the data members. You take the values from the outside world and you set them here. That is why I gave the name for this particular method as set. I am setting the values. Then I am supposed to output the value. So according to the university, that is what I am supposed to do. Okay. So let me create one method. Let me say public void, and I am going to say put marks. That simple as that. I done that thing. Let me say s out, and I'm going to say put the marks, mark 1. You say marks 1 or maybe mark 1, and let me put a colon and then plus m1. I'm sorry, not m1. M1 is the this. I want the members here, that is mark 1, mark1. Okay. You notice it's going to show you which one that I am talking about. It's going to show me that I am talking about this one. You see that highlight there. Okay. M1 will not be available to you on the outside the method. Now once that is done, let me copy this whole thing, selected, Control C to copy, you know very well, Control V to paste, go out here and press enter. In the next line paste it. This is mark 2, so you make it as 2, you make it as 2. Again click here, that is outside, press enter, Control V to paste. This is 3 and this is 3. You got the 3 marks with you, so you are able to display the 3 marks. I'm going to just save it, save all the files which I've just created. So it is better you save it, because you know there may be power cut, there may be anything can happen on this world. So just save your content and you will be saved of all the trouble of retyping it. Okay, so let's go to the next part. Next part is we are supposed to create an interface called as sports. So let's get that interface sports. Again, I'm going to make the first letter of this sports as capital to follow the convention. Let's go ahead and let's go to our project. And under our project, under our student result, right click and say new interface. This time we are supposed to create an interface, new interface. If it is not visible here, for some good reason, if it is not visible, go to the others. So go to the others and under Java, you get Java interface. Either you will get it from the others, you need to go to Java and then say interface. Most preferably it will be available. When you right click here, new interface will be available. For some good reason, if it is not available, just go there and do it. Okay, one extra step you have to follow if it is not visible over here. So let me right click, new Java interface, and then you are going to come to the same place. I am going to say it is sports. I'll make it as yes capital. Okay, yes capital, sports. That being said, it is done. Let me finish top. This sports has one constant, that is a member called as sportsWt equal to 5. I assume that this is also integer. If you want, you can say that is double and so on and so forth, but I'll assume that that is integer. So let me go ahead. If you notice the difference here, you are saying public interface. In the previous case, it was public class. It is not class. This class is test. Class is student, but sports is not class. Sports is interface. You are creating an interface. Let me say int and sportsWt equal to 5. That is what they have said. We are supposed to create a member called as sportsWt, and then they said create a method called as or write the method declaration called as putWt. I'm going to just copy them and then paste it over here. I assume that put does not return any value, so I'm going to say public. Remember, this public word is not really required because all the methods are by default are public, but I'm going to just make it as public void and put wt. So this is done, public void put wt, that is done. So your interface is ready. This is the only thing that you need to do. Again, I'm going to save it. As I told you, saving will not cost you anything, but it will save you from all the trouble that may happen if the power fails in the lab for some good reason. So let's go to the next part, and finally we are supposed to create a class called as result that extends out of test and implements the interface sports. Because I'm going to follow the convention, I'll make this R as capitals, so I'll just copy it and then go ahead with it. Let's go to the project again. We go to the project again, and under this project, under this package, right click, new, and I'm going to say class. Remember, this time it is class, and you notice that class has come down and interface has gone up. So it will show you some 8 or 10 values over here, and if it goes beyond it, it will just remove it from this menu. That is why I told you, if it's not visible, go to the others. So now I'm having this Java class with me. Click on Java class and give it a name, and the name that I'm going to give is not the result in small case. R must be in capital. Following the convention, R must be in capital, and I'm going to finish it off. And what did they say? They say that this class, result class, extends out of test and implements sports. So let's do that thing. This particular class, the result, extends, I'm going to write ext and control space it, extends out of test, test, and it implements, I'm going to say imp and control space, implements sports. Okay, I typed half of it, control space, and you notice the interface symbol is going to show you that interface symbol for you, sports. Now in this interface, now if you notice, it's going to say that there is something wrong in it. What is wrong in it? If you go to this sports, in this sports there is one method called as putWt, which is not complete, and you are supposed to give the definition. The declaration is only written here. You have to write the definition, or you have to complete the definition. So this is half class, half method. You have to complete that method over here. One other thing you will notice here is it is written as sportsWt. You know very well this is a constant, and if you go to the this bulb over here, there is an exclamation mark. This is a warning. Okay, it's not an error, it's a warning. Error means it will come in red color. So warning, what does the warning say? Warning says that constant does not follow the naming convention. What is the naming convention? Remember, in C you have studied that thing. If you want to write any constant, then you have to write the constant in all capitals. Okay, now that warning is gone. Only thing it says that you have not written the Java docs for that. Java doc is documentation, but that's okay. I am not going to do that thing, but I will keep. I will not make it as all capitals. I will keep it ready. This is just a warning. Remember, if you don't follow the convention, NetBeans will warn you and say that you are not following the standard convention. That's okay. If you want, you keep it in capitals. Nobody is going to cut the marks for you if you make it as all caps. Now if you look at the result class over here, the result class, you see that here, that is what I told you, exclamation mark in red color. Red color means there is an error. This class will not get compiled. Why this class is not going to compile? It's going to show you where that error occurs. You notice a red color line over here that says so there is an error. Also you will see a bulb with the red exclamation mark. And what does it say? Result is not an abstract class. Why it is an abstract class? Because you have implemented sports, and in the sports one of the method is not complete. And you know very well, if you have a class with one of its method incomplete, then you have to say it as an abstract class. That is why NetBeans says that I think this is you have created a class, but you should have created it as an abstract class because one of its method is incomplete. But I don't want to create an abstract class. I want to create the full class. In that case, what is that I am supposed to do? In the sports interface, can you see the symbol of that? So in the sports interface, this method is incomplete. You have to complete that method. If you complete this method, not in the interface, but in the class that implements this interface, if you complete that method, the class will become the full class, otherwise it is an abstract class. So let's go ahead and let's complete that part. How do I do that thing? I'm not going to type anything. Remember, do not type the things because you may miss out something. You may, instead of capitals, you may make it as small case and other things. So I'll go to this bulb here, and in the bulb I'm going to go and I'm going to say implements all abstract method. So can you see there? Now fortunately I have only one method here, which is abstract, because only declaration is given over here. You may have other methods. So NetBeans, I am telling the NetBeans that you go to this result class, and I am going to tell the NetBeans that you implement in the result class. I am going to go and click on this bulb, and I am going to say implement all abstract method. This is for the result class. Remember, you cannot implement anything in the interface. In interface, you don't write the body. In interface, you just create the declaration. So under the sports interface, you don't do anything, but in the result you have to implement. So let's go ahead and let's implement it. I'm going to click on this, and I'm going to say implement all the abstract method. Click on, you may find these things, unit test and other things. You may or you may not find it. If you find it, well and good. If you don't find it, just ignore them, because it is not part of your syllabus. You will study about the testing maybe in the 5th semester, I don't know, somewhere you will study them. So let's go ahead and let's click on this implement all the abstract method. What did I do it in the result class? Click on this bulb and then say implement all the abstract method. Click on it, and the NetBeans will do the needful things for you. Okay, so let me zoom in for you, and then I'm going to click on this one, and I'm going to say that's it. Now one good thing that NetBeans will do is it will annotate it with at override. Annotation is part of the Java now. So this is called as annotation. Anything that you do it with the annotation. Now you may say, hey, what is this annotation? Are you not writing the hashtag? So Java also has a kind of a hashtag now, and that is called as annotation. Okay, so that is Java's way of writing your hashtag. I will not talk much about the theory behind the annotation, but just that's the glance. Now because this was created by the NetBeans, where did you get this putWt? From where did I get that putWt? This putWt was the method which was declared in the interface. That is, sports interface had this putWt, which did not had the full definition, and here it is done. Now if you look at the class now, the red color exclamation mark is gone. The red color exclamation mark is gone. That means this is going to compile it. Okay, if you want, you can save it. Generally you will save it. Okay, so it's not going to cost you much. Now this because it was created by NetBeans, it's going to throw an exception. I don't want that exception, so I'm going to click here. Look at carefully what I'm doing. Click here and drag down. Now you need this flower bracket. Remember, this is the flower bracket of that class, the method. So don't delete this closing flower bracket, because it is required. So you click in the front of this row, drag down and then drag back, so that this flower bracket is not part of the selection. So you click here, drag down and drag back, and leave this flower bracket because that's required. Otherwise you put it on your own. Okay, press the delete button. It's gone. Now then press enter. So this is your method here. What is that you are supposed to put? I will type the S out, and I'm going to say sportsWt. Weight is WEIGST. Weight WIW. Okay, I think I have to learn English now. Okay, that I think it is correct. sportsWt, and I'm going to put a plus and I'm going to say sports weight. So where did I get this sports weight? I got this sports weight from the sports here. So you notice in the sports interface you had this one int sports wt equal to 5. I am reading that value. Sports wt. Okay, that being done. Okay, this put method is being done. Now what did they say? Okay, this is done, and maybe you can show the result also. Let's what is the next thing? Write a Java program to read the required data and display the details in a neat format. Now there are two things that you can do. You can write that method here, or you can write the method in the other class. I'm going to just write a method. One extra method will not cost you much, so I'm going to say put and public first public void put result. We'll just show it here. So put result in the result class I'm doing it. So in the same class, last class that I've just created, I'm going to do that thing. And what is that I am supposed to do in the put result? I'm going to say first yes out. I will first create one variable called as total. What is total? Total, you know very well, there are 3 marks are there. Remember, this class extends the test. So in the test class, it extends the test, you notice. Let's go to this test class. In the test class, you have 3 marks, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. I'm going to add them together. Okay, so let's go to my result here, and I'm going to say total is nothing but what is total? Total is nothing but mark, let's say mark 1 plus I'm used to this copy pasting, so by now you know very well. I have marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. So I'm just adding this marks 1, marks 2, marks 3 as 3 marks. So where did I get this marks 1, marks 2, marks 3? In the sports. If you look at this one, sports, I'm sorry, not a sports, in the test. In the test you have 3 marks here, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Under this class test you have 3 marks, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. I'm going to add them together, total. And if you say that okay, you will put the semicolon over here, then the question comes is then what will happen with this sports weight? Is it waste? So I am going to even add that sports weight because it is there. I'm going to just add that sports weight also. Okay. Well, you may say, what is this? This part is correct. Adding marks 1, marks 2, marks 3, I can understand. 3 marks were there. Add them together, you get the total. That's good. But what is this sports weight? Sports weight is sometimes, sometime when you submit your assignment, if you have done good things, some bonus grace marks are given. 1 mark extra, 2 marks extra, like that. So here I assume that if you participate in sports, they are giving you grace marks of 5. Okay, extra marks, 5 extra mark. So apart from your 3 marks in 3 subject, like mark 1, mark 2, mark 3, marks in 3 subject, you get a grace marks also, sports weight. From where did you get this? You got it from the sports interface. Okay, that is done. Let me print out all of them one after the other. I'm going to say yes out, and I'm going to say, they said in a formatted way, result dash dash dash, so it will come neatly. Okay, it is done. And what else we are supposed to do? See, we have 3 methods here. Student details, from the student class. From the student class you have put details, one method that's going to print the roll number, name and class. That is the details of the students. You get that thing. I'm going to use that thing, that is put details. You can use this, remember I'm calling it here, you can call it here, or you can call it in the main method. It's up to you, but I will call it here. It's up to you. This method you can write it here, or in the static void main here also one and the same. They have not specified any extra thing over here, so I'm going to perform it here. So put details, this is first one. So put details will give you the details of the student, like roll number, name and class. Then I will go to the test class here. Under this test class I'm going to put marks. Okay, that done. Put marks. It's going to print all the marks, marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. I'm going to call that one method. So what is this method? Put marks. Okay, I have not typed it, I pressed control space. Remember, I will not say again and again. Whenever you are in trouble, press control space and the NetBeans will do the needful things to you. So put marks. Last one is I will also show this one, putWt. In the sports you have one method called as putWt. I'm going to show that one also. So after put marks I'm going to say putWt. Let's say putWt. That being done, last thing, I have shown the name and the roll number, I've shown the marks, I've shown the sportsWt. Now the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to say yes out and I'm going to say total, and I'm going to show the total that I've just now calculated. Okay, so I've calculated the total here, this total I'm going to show it here. So that will complete everything. Now only thing that we are supposed to do is we have to go to this result main, that is the main method. So that is the default class, that is result, student result. That was here, student result. This is the one. This was added by the NetBeans. It was the class that was created by NetBeans and it has static void main. You see this thing, it contains the main method. So you can double click on it, or the tab will be available to you. You can just see there. And I'm going to implement all of them. What are the things that I require? I require int roll number. I'll take it as RN. I need 3 marks, M1, M2 and M3. Okay, I need the name of the student. I'll take SN as the name of the student, and I have the class C as my class. I'm taking all the small letters over here because you will take a lot of time to type. If you type a very lengthy name for the variable, you have to type them during the examination, as well as you have to write them in your answer script. So don't take too lengthy names because but take the name that signifies the, or that is relevant with respect to the what you're doing. Okay. After this I need what else I need? I need a scanner class because I want an input. So I'm going to say scanner, which is SCNN, and control space it, and I'm going to select this. You can double click on it or select it and press enter. NetBeans will add the import statement. Suppose if you are in love with the notepad, then you have to write this line. Without this line the scanner will not work. You have to import that one. NetBeans will do it for you for free. Okay, that done. SC is equal to, this is the variable, SC is my scanner class. SC is equal to new scanner, SC, okay, scanner, control space, and I'm going to press enter. I'll take the input stream as my source and I'm going to say system. Again I pressed control space, dot in, again I press enter. So I got the scanner class. Now I need the result. I need this result class. So I need the object of this result. So I'm going to create that one. So I'm going to go over here and I'm going to say result. I think that was results. Let me see that results. Yes, was there. Okay. So NetBeans is helping me out. Say result. I'll say R is equal to new result. Okay, that's done. Okay, nothing else to be done. So all the 3 variables, all these variables are there with me. Now it is all the time to input all of them. So I'm going to say S out and I'm going to say enter roll number. Now this is I'm doing it. Some of you may not like that. I don't want the new line to appear after this. Okay, I want the values to be printed directly in front of it. So I'm going to remove ln from this one. Ln stands for new line, and you know very well what is new line is the /n in your C program. That I don't want that to come at the end. Okay, but if you want, you can do it. It's up to you, but I don't like this is my style of doing it. Okay, let's go ahead and let's read the roll number. Rn is equal to sc dot next int, because it's an integer variable. You notice that Rn is integer variable, that's why I'm doing it. Okay, and I'm going to copy this line, Control C to copy it. I'll go here, press enter, Control V to paste it, and I'm going to say enter name, and I'm going to read the name. Now a name is I have sn is my variable for the student name. Sn is sc dot next line. Now you will have a problem with this line. Okay, you will have to do one small minor change when you do this. That happens whenever you are reading a number. When you read a number followed by a text, this one small minor problem will come. I'm going to show you what is that problem, and I'm going to tell you how to fix that problem. Okay, as of now, let me continue with the work. Okay, let me press enter, and I need the roll number, name, and next one is my class. Okay, I need this class. Class I've taken as C. C is equal to sc dot next. What is that? Next line. Okay, that's done. And I'm going to read all the marks one after the other. I'm going to use the Control V, and I'm going to say enter marks in 3 subjects. Okay, and I'm going to read all the marks one after the other, because I don't want to write a print the output statement every now and then. So M1 is my first mark. I'm fixing the marks now. Where is this marks went? M1, M2, M3. I'm fixing them, reading them from the keyboard. sc dot next integer. Remember, all of them are integer. So you notice marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. Everything is integer. So I'm reading it as integer. And as you know, I'm very familiar with the copy pasting it. So I'm going to Control C it. Click here, press enter, and I'm going to say this is M2, this is the second marks. Click here, press enter, Control V, and this is the third mark. So I have read all the 3 marks. Now what is that I am supposed to do? I am supposed to supply this details. What is that detail? Roll number, student name, and class to this method, that is set details method. In the same way, I am supposed to apply all the marks to set marks method, and finally I'm going to call this put result to show all the details. So let me do that thing. I'm going to go to this my student static void main method. First one, I'm going to set my result class is R. I've taken the result. This is object, not the class. Result object is this result object is R now. So if you have taken some other variable, use that variable. I'm going to say R dot put details. That's the first one. I'm sorry, not to put. Sorry, this is not a put. This is set. Sorry, so, set details. And generally, NetBeans will try to fix the value, but don't believe in NetBeans. So sometimes it just fails to do that thing. RN is correct. Roll number. Remember, what are the things? First, I am supposed to supply the roll number. Then I am supposed to supply the name. Then I am supposed to supply the class. So NetBeans has guessed some things properly, some things it has not guessed properly. First thing is roll number, that is proper. Second one is name, which is not taken it properly, so I'm going to say SN, that is the name. Third thing is the class, it has taken it. So first one, name. If it has not taken, you type it. First one is the roll number. Look at here what it is trying to take. In the student, what are you taking? First you take the when you say set details, you first take the roll number, then you take the name of the student, then you take the class of the student. In the same order you are supposed to provide the values. So first you are supplying the roll number, second one you are supplying the name, and third one you are supplying the class. Okay, that done. Let's go to the next one, and I'm going to say set marks, and this time it has taken it properly. So first one is the marks 1, second one is the marks 2, third one is the marks 3. And if you look at the test here, how did you set the marks? Marks 1, marks 2, marks 3. That is done. Okay, that being done, let's call the last method r dot, and what is that? I'm going to say this time not the setter, I'm going to say put the result. So once you have all the marks with you, you can go to the result here and you can call this put result. That's going to show you the result. So that being done, you will have one small fix that you need to do with respect, as I told you, with respect to the reading this line. Okay, I'm going to run this project and I will show you what is the problem. So let me run this project, save it first and this run it. Okay, when you run this project, you get the first printout statement, that is the enter roll number. You see this enter roll number is going to ask you enter roll number. Let's say 1, 2, 3 is my roll number. Then what is the next thing that you are supposed to do? Enter the name. So I press enter. You notice what is going to happen. You press enter. It just it showed this one, enter name. Can you see there? Okay. So it showed this line, enter name, and but it did not wait for this one. So what it showed that name. Let me zoom in. I don't know whether I can show it on your screen. Okay, so it showed you that name here, roll number. Okay, that part was proper. Let me do it for you. It showed you that name. Okay, this roll number. It showed you this roll number. That is done. And after that it showed enter name. That was also there, but it did not wait for this. This was not done, but instead it just went to the other. What is the problem? So this, I told you, there is this problem is there. This happens if you read a number and then a string or a character. This problem may occur. What was that? What is that has happened? So you typed, you said enter roll number here, and you typed 1, 2, 3. You typed 1, 2, 3 here. Can you see that? You type 1, 2, 3. After that, what did you do? You didn't just type 1, 2, 3. After typing 1, 2, 3, you actually pressed the enter. You pressed this enter here. After this enter was there in the buffer. Okay, it took 1, 2, 3 and it stored that 1, 2, 3 in here. So it took that roll number 1, 2, 3, whatever 1, 2, 3 that you have typed here. Let me do it over here. Whatever 1, 2, 3 that you have typed, it took that thing, it stored it here. But what was remaining here was that enter sign was there. You pressed enter, that enter sign was there. Enter is also a character. Remember, anything and everything is a character. So next time it showed this enter name, it showed this enter name, but what was already there in the buffer? This enter was there, so it just took that enter and then added that enter here. Okay, so this part then it assumed that okay, this is completed. After that it said enter class, is showing that enter class, and now it is actually waiting for the class, not the name. Now because it is already, this is gone, I'm going to type the name. Now let's say assume that I'm going to type the name Ramu. Remember, I'm supposed to type the class, but okay, I say second BC. Okay, after that everything goes fine. Okay, so now you may say that okay, now you pressed enter, didn't you press the enter? Now you may say that okay, you typed second BCA, that is right, then you pressed enter. Yes, you pressed enter. No, why did it went and showed the marks here? Now this time it showed this message and it went to the buffer. What was there in the buffer was enter. Enter is not, what is the m1? M1 is integer. Enter is not integer. Then it said that this is useless. I am not going to proceed. You type an enter and you type a number and I will proceed. Okay. So now it is waiting for the 3 marks. So let's say 50, 60 and 70 are the 3 marks. Okay. And I press enter. I must get all the result. Everything is proper except the name is not taken. That is something that you need to take care. Now what is the solution for it? Now once you type this roll number 123 here, let me zoom in for you. You press this enter, and that enter is unfortunately taken by the next line when it is reading. Okay, what are you going to do then? Okay, the solution is very simple, because once you press the enter roll number here 123, that after that enter sign is there, so I just read them. I say sc dot next line. I'll simply read that. Okay, so when you read it, what will happen? So you typed 123 here, you typed 123 here, enter was there, 123 was taken and given to it. Next blank reading is there, so it reads this new line and it will simply vanish. That's all. I am not storing it anywhere. It simply reads it. Well and good. After that I proceed with my work. Okay, so one extra new line has to be there. So just remember that one extra new line, that is a workaround. Okay, sometimes you have to do some you have to do some jugaad to make it work. So this is read one, put one extra line. This you have to do it whenever you read a number, and then if you start reading a string or a character, you just have to do one extra read. Okay, one extra, that's all. It is not going to cost you much. Okay. Let me run it, and this time it should work fine. Now you notice one other thing is because I removed ln from here, I said print, not print line, and you notice it beautifully stops right in front of it. The cursor is stopping right in front of it. So that's why I said I am not interested in ln. I have put all the print statement, not the ln statement. Okay. Now let's start with the roll number. 111 is my roll number. Now you see that enter name and it is stopping. Okay, that I pressed enter here. This was read by this statement. So this read that extra enter sign was there, that was read by it. Now then it says enter name and it is stopping there. Now I'm going to do the next part. What is the next part? Is the name, and I said the name was Ramu, and then the class. After this everything will go fine, only for once you have to do it. Second BCA and 3 subjects. Okay, I am going to give the subject as 10, 20 and 30 marks in 3 subject, 10, 20, 30. I press enter, I get all the things. Result is roll number is 111, name is Ramu, class is BCA, marks is first marks is 10, second marks is 20, third marks is 30. 10 plus 20 plus 30 is 60, plus 5 marks for the weight, sports weight, and total is 65. That's all you need to do. Thank you for watching this video. We will meet again in the next class.